everybody, welcome back. This is Kijnox and welcome back to the show. As you can see by clicking on this video, we are going to be doing the review Demonslayer Infinity Castle film part 1. And I know that in Japan it was released about nearly 2 weeks ago, considering that it came out basically, I think wasn't it last week Friday? Look, it's been like 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks. It's done really well in Japan. Everybody's giving it praise, and guess what? I watched it, and I'm gonna spoil everything for you. I watched it, and to be honest, it's not. It doesn't come up to the hype that we all thought. So I'm saving you guys the time here. You can actually still get it on other sites. I'm not gonna say what the sites are or the name of the sites, but you can catch this on other sites that actually do have the film, which they've gotten in certain ways. So yeah. Nonetheless, I'm going to give you the full scope of the film, so that if you do not want to watch it on the site and you actually want to watch it on Crunchyroll, I'm going to prepare you all, because I was not prepared for this at all. It was cool, but let's go down into it. Okay, Demonslayer Infinity Castle Arc Part 1. The Infinity Castle Arc finally begins, and it starts where the last season ended, with all the Hashiras coming together and the other lower rank Demon Slayers falling into the Infinity Castle. Okay? This is Muzan's plan to finally end the war between the demons and the Demon Slayers. Okay? The Infinity Castle is called the Infinity Castle. I wonder why. Because it just never ends at all. And this all comes from the ability of the newly promoted Upper Moon rank 4 demon known as Nakime, the one that always plays with the guitar, you know. She's always playing that little instrument of hers, apparently. All the Slayers are now in the castle, and all the demons too, even the lower rank demons. So this final battle that is going to be stretched out over 3 films is going, well, it's going to be the deciding moment for either the humans or the demons who's going to come out on top. This is the first film of the trilogy of the Infinite Castle arc, okay? And it's super long runtime. It's like 2 hours and 33 minutes, to be honest. And I looked it up. That, if you watch all the episodes, it doesn't matter which season. If you watch all 8 episodes, okay, without the intro theme, without the intro song, it roughly comes up to the same amount of time that the film is. 2 hours and 30 odd minutes, to be honest. That's actually what the full runtime for a full season is, which is the same for a film. So they've done that by giving you everything that you would see in a season. So I guess that's cool. The budget was really added to the design of the Infinity Castle, and as it can change rooms and its corridors as well at will. Obviously this is because of the Upper Moon for Nakime. It's her ability, so it can be changed. And also that special effects look more fantastic as the Slayers or demons use their special moves against one another. The budget really went into the special effects, you know. Too bad there was no prop design, but that's because it's an anime. All the Slayers face the multitude of demons that are after them in order to have the Hashiras, but in order to have the Hashiras focus on the main objective, which is to defeat the Upper Moons and Muzan, all the lower rank Demon Slayers take on the hordes of lower rank demons in order to conserve the energy of the Hashiras so that they can take on the generals, which is a fantastic plan. Not to mention it also gives them skill, because they'll be able to, grow from this battle, and hopefully, I doubt that they will get the marks, but you never know. Some of these lower rank guys might even get marks. It doesn't stipulate that depending on your skill as a swordsman or as a Hashira, you will get the mark, because apparently Tanjiro has the mark on his forehead, okay, and he's not even a Hashira. But nonetheless, I'm sure maybe the other lower ranks might even get the mark as well. So, this is a fantastic tactic that the Slayers are all taking on the lower rank demons, thus conserving the energy of the Hashira so they can take up the generals, which is the Upper Moons and Muzan, okay? And this is actually a plan that was devised. Guess what? This is actually a spoiler, to be honest. This is a plan that was devised by the current head of the Demon Slayer organization, who is the son of the former head of the Ibuyashiki family. You know, the guy at the last season who blew himself up with his wife and his 2 daughters and his entire compound. That guy, he actually has a son and 2 other daughters, 2 younger daughters. And the son, because obviously he's a male, he's the one that has taken over. So basically, they knew Muzan was coming. They most likely advertised, "This is where I am, come get me," Michael Jackson. And as Muzan got there, they were like, "We're going to blow things up. We're going to see how much we can take from Muzan. But at the same time, we're going to maintain an operation where we finish Muzan right there tonight. And my son, basically the new head of the Ibuyashiki family, will run the Demonslayer corps until Muzan is captured. If it's not done tonight, at least there will be a Ibuyashiki family head who will maintain the corps until all the demons are done. His life, basically, they're making sure if they don't win on this final battle, the battle continues nonetheless. Which I think is a great plan. One thing about this film is that even though this is the final battle between good and evil, humans and demons, this film is mostly about Akaza and his origins. Yes, I just gave you a spoiler, but we get an in-depth look at the life of the Upper Moon Rank 3 demon. Moving into more details, and spoilers are ahead. I'm telling you guys, now I'm gonna be dishing out some spoilers. We're gonna chew into. Okay, here's a massive spoiler, and you guys are gonna really hate me for this. But nonetheless, click that subscribe button, hit the comments, dish it out. Let me hear. Here we go. At the beginning of the film, the insect Hashira, Shinobu, Kocho, you know, the one with the little girl with the butterfly thing, blah blah blah, and she's also got like a butterfly, like, yeah. So the insect Hashira, Shinobu Kocho, basically one of the only few females left as Hashira, finds herself face to face with Doma, the Upper Moon Rank 2, which is the dude is insanely strong, okay? And in a flashback of her sister, who was the former Flower Hashira, at the time, was killed by a demon, and confirms from the description her sister gave her at that time of the demon she fought before she died, that the demon now standing in front of Shinobu is in fact Doma of the Upper Moon 2. The Doma killed the Flower Hashira, and the insect Hashira is the sister, and now the insect Hashira has found the murderer of her sister, and we all know what happens then. Fit of rage, jumps into fight, and moving on to the next step. But basically, look, I'll just be honest, she gets her ass killed. It is a short fight. Insect Hashira gets stomped on, doom, you know, raided. Man, it was moving on. Okay, Gyu and Tanjiro now, while still running through the Infinity Castle to regroup with the other Slayers, find out via the Demonslayer Corps messenger crows that Shinobu has died by the hands of the Upper Moon Rank 2 demon. And this is a shocking news to both of them, as this look, as you can see the look on their faces, it's in disbelief that Shinobu, a Hashira, died. But it's not, it's all Shinobu's fault. She faced the Upper Moon Rank 2 on her own. It was her fault, to be honest. Coming back to the Ibuyashiki family now, and the Demonslayer Corps who is running it now, I mean that when the head of the Ibuyashiki family detonated his compound with himself and his wife, I actually mentioned this earlier, and his 2 eldest daughters, they were the eldest daughters apparently, okay, still inside, he prepared that somebody else will take his place, which is his son. And apparently the 2 daughters that are still alive, apparently the 2 youngest daughters, who had 5 kids in total, all 3 of them are mapping out the design of the Infinity Castle using the messenger crows in order to find Muzan, and also in order to indicate where the rest of the Upper Moon Rank demons are. So basically they've got the entire scout going on. They got an entire scout going on with the crows, while all the Slayers are fighting. They are getting the information. There's like so many people running around them, so many people that's busy, and they just ran. So not everybody was basically taken into the Infinity Castle. Only the fighters. But nonetheless, there are healers that are with him, the medical staff, and everybody else that's with the rest of the Ibuyashiki family heads that are there now. They are busy mapping out the designs of the Infinity Castle. They're basically getting as much information as they can so that they can win this battle. But you have to actually watch the film to actually find out what actually happens in the Infinity Castle, even though I'm giving you spoilers right now, okay? To be honest, yeah, I have to admit the Ibioshiki family's plan for this, and the three of the children are still alive, and one son and two of the youngest daughters who will lead the Demon Slayer Corps from now on, was a great idea. Sacrifice part of your family, which is so weird, to be honest, to sacrifice a part of your family. I guess you got to make the pot look juicy for Muzan. But nonetheless, sacrifice part of your family, but the main section, which is the most youngest out of the entire family that he has, will run the corps from then on. It's a massive responsibility to give to these children who now have to take care of the Demon Slayer corps. But to be honest, in the film, there is, here comes another spoiler, they are not alone. Not all the fighters were taken. Muzan only took the recent active members of the Demon Slayer Corps. Apparently, okay, we have one of the former Hashira, the one who retired, the one who does the, no, he doesn't do stone breathing, he does some, which breathing? The ninja, the guy with the three beautiful wives that he has. Yeah, he is retired, but he comes back in order just to defend the new heads of the Ibioshiki family. And of course, Rengoku, not the Flame Hashira that died, obviously because he can't come back, he's dead, but his father, a retired Hashira, also steps up alongside the former Hashira, who is also the ninja. I can't get to his name. But the two of them are there in order to protect the kids while all the other Slayers are in the Infinity Castle, which is kind of cool. You got two Hashiras nonetheless, even though one has lost his arm and lost an eye, he's still a formidable opponent to fight against, and he's still fast. And I'm sure his three wives are somewhere around, also maintaining the perimeter nonetheless. Moving on to another spoiler. Zenitsu meets up with the other successor of the Thunder Breathing as what I wrote here, as he is the only successor who has trained. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Zenitsu meets with the other successor of the Thunder Breathing, okay, because this successor of the Thunder Breathing, even though he was in the Demon Slayer Corps, he actually got turned into a demon and has become the new Upper Moon rank 6. So he is basically the lowest and the weakest of the Upper Moons, because he's rank 6. And after an intense argument that Zenitsu has with the Upper Moon rank 6, he realizes after dashing towards Zenitsu that Zenitsu has already been cut. Sorry, not Zenitsu. He has already been, the Upper Moon rank 6 has already been cut by Zenitsu's blade, proving that Zenitsu in front of him is not the same person that he trained with. And then after not a long or a fierce battle, it was cool seeing all the electricity going. You see black electricity, which is so weird. Okay, let's say dark electricity, and then you see Zenitsu electricity. Just these two fearsome swordsmen who trained together under Thunder Breathing, Master Hashira, and Zenitsu, like in a swift of lightning, takes the head of the Upper Moon rank 6, and basically he wins the battle, but he doesn't come out unscathed. He is actually knocked out unconscious, which is kind of weird. I would expect Zenitsu to be a whole lot more stronger than that, to be honest. He seems a whole lot more serious. But he just comes out and he beats the Upper Moon rank 6, which I think was obviously too much for him, but then again, he was poisoned by Upper Moon rank 6. Lightning poison, to be honest, okay? And I would say that perhaps now, because he is literally the only successor left of the Thunder Breathing, he is the true successor of the Thunder Breathing. Okay, which means Zenitsu has the skills to become a Hashira. He just needs to, I say, keep on training. And like I know he's not that strong, but he's also not that weak. He's actually my favorite character, and I would have preferred to see a little bit more action out of him and not being comatose. So immediately after Zenitsu's battle with the Upper Moon rank 6, okay, he's then brought back. We then go back to Giyu and Tanjiro, who are still running, trying to find and regroup with the other Demon Slayers, okay, only for Akaza to appear and for momentarily separate Gyu from Tanjiro, okay? And Akaza appears in front of Tanjiro and literally looks at Tanjiro, taunting him, throwing Tanjiro into a fit of rage. Obviously, for what Akaza did in the first film, the Mugen Train at the end, where he killed Kyojuro, okay, the Flame Hashira, okay, Rengoku, the Flame Hashira, yeah, basically in the Mugen Train. So both Tanjiro and Gyu take on Akaza, the Upper Moon 3 demon, on their own. Well, not on their own, they are together, but it's just the two of them taking rank 3. I mean, Gyu is good, but so is Tanjiro. But I mean, this is like number 3, and I don't know where Rengoku was. Okay, we don't know where the Flame Hashira was in the spectrum, but nonetheless, we already know Upper Moon rank 3 strong enough to take down a Hashira himself. So this entire battle with Akaza, I'm being honest now, Akaza takes over 1 hour and 20 odd minutes. For over an hour, this battle includes more dialogue and backstory of Akaza's origins than the battle itself. You see more backstory and you see more dialogue than you see more action. There's less action in here. It was so lackluster, and there were more backflashes than fighting. I couldn't sit still. I couldn't sit still and watch the film anymore. Like, a person really can't sit still for 2.5 hours now and watch an animation film. One of the most anticipated films to come out. That's not the worst part though. Akaza commits suicide. After an entire battle with Gyu and Tanjiro, the Demon Slayers don't even get to take down the Upper Moon rank 3 and claim victory for their own. No. It gets taken from them by the demon itself. Akaza does get his head cut off. Apparently he regrows it back. And because he starts reliving all the black backflashes from his past when he was a human, man, the dude decides to just use the same move that he used on Rengoku, the Flame Hashira, he uses on himself and literally commits suicide. I couldn't believe it. Even though Gyu and Tanjiro are literally exhausted, they are not the ones who defeat the Upper Moon rank 3. Which is so crap, because when it actually gets announced by the crows, hey, Tanjiro and Gyu defeated the Upper Moon rank 3, everyone's like, oh, I know they did it. They didn't do it. It wasn't them. It was the demon itself. He committed suicide. Tanjiro and Gyu are just knocked out. And it was so lame. It was so lame. They could have at least let us see Tanjiro or Gyu kill the dude. It would have been great. Because we've been waiting for so many seasons for Akaza to get the blade to the neck. And when he does get it, he grows his head back. Oh man. I don't know what they were planning with this film. I don't know if this was in a if this was in a anime, if this was in the manga, but if it was in the manga, thank you for sticking to the manga, but no ways, I would not have put that in there. Maybe regrow his head back, yes, because that maintains the battle, but I would not have let Akaza commit suicide. He would have died by a blade, not by a fist. That's for sure. Whew, wow. That was a lot of spoilers, but that's not my rant. Now, we are going to go straight. I know this is actually one of the longest reviews that I've ever done. But I just, I'm a fan of Demonslayer, and I just have to give you guys the full rant of this review. Now we're going to move on to the rant review. Okay, and this one is actually pretty long. I got a lot of points here. Oh, let's just go into it. Can we please stop with the sad stories and the emotional train? I didn't come to see sad stories and all of the Upper Moon demons' origins and all the Hashira's origins. I came here to see demons get their ass kicked by the guys with the swords and who are samurai and who can do the thunder breathing and all the other kind of breathing, and the strongest slayers in the corps. That's what I came to see. I didn't come to feel empathy for the guys who've been killing innocent people. I did not come for that. I came to see demons get their asses kicked. To get their asses handed to them. The good guys to win. I didn't come to see even the good guys get injured and the demon kills itself, thus taking away the joy of a fantastic win. I did not come to see that. Thankfully, I didn't have to go to a cinema for this. Point number 2. Akaza uses one of the dumbest moves ever displayed in Demonslayer. A move called Destructive Death Leg type Explosive Fury, which is just consecutive blasts from kicking out his leg in the air. It looks so weird. He like stands like and he starts kicking out with his leg, and it's just blasts of air. It's so stupid, man. Where is the? I know he's so strong, but other demons using blood art. This guy wasn't even using blood art. He was using just like death destructive air blasts. Death destructive air blasts. It was so weird. Point number 3. The entire battle between Akaza, Giyu, and Tanjiro lasts for more than an hour and 20 minutes of this 2-hour and 33-minute film. For more than 60 minutes, it's just Akaza. Man, just one of the upper moons. Okay, we got to see 2 upper moons. We got to see Akaza get killed, Akaza commit suicide, and we got to see upper moon rank 6. We really don't care about upper moon rank 6. That guy gets killed. He doesn't really matter. Number 5, I don't know if we're going to see him or if he was killed. I can't remember. Number 4 is Nakeme, which is the Infinite Castle chick. She needs to get taken out, but then again, if you take her out, does everybody then come out of the Infinite Castle because she's dead? Why would the Infinite Castle still stay there? And I think that they wouldn't want her to die first. She would be hidden because Muzan needs to regenerate, which she's doing in the point of the film. So I don't think the writers are going to allow Nakime to die quite soon. I think because she needs to hide Muzan and she knows that, she's going to do her best to stay alive as long as possible in order for Muzan to be able to regenerate. Okay. And, okay, and then we got Doma. Okay, Upper Moon rank 3 is gone. We got Doma number 2, who's like super, super strong. And then on top of that, we got number 1, Upper Moon rank 1, which is, I forgot his name. Yeah, but we all do know who he is. We've all seen the spoilers that this is one of the original Slayers, brother of the strongest Slayer who has decided to become a demon for over, 500 years? And now that dude, yeah, we can't wait for that battle. I can't wait to see that one. But, yeah, we'll see if it's going to be films. So, because this film is so long, I was yawning halfway through. I started yawning halfway through this film because this was one battle where there was just too much happening in the fight alone, okay? I hoped that for all of the other fights that are to come, that we, the viewers and fans, don't get to see this long, drawn-out fight sequence done again with backstories and dialogue and more backstory and my life and blah, blah, blah. Please, you got 2 films left. I don't think you should even make it into films. I think you should give us a season. To be honest, from watching this entire film, it's hard to sit down for 2 hours and 30 minutes, especially when it's 2 hours and 30 minutes of sad backstory. Give us a season. Give us the last 2 films. Make that into a season, please. And we can take our time, you know? Yeah, actually repeat the point. The entire battle against Akaza takes over 1 hour and 20 minutes until the end of the film. And with only 5 minutes left of the whole film, it ends, and then only we get to see the other Demon Slayers still making their way through the Infinity Castle to regroup with the others. The news that Tanjiro and Giyu defeated the Upper Moon rank 3 gets broadcast to all the other Slayers, but Tanjiro and Giyu didn't even get to kill him completely, like I've been complaining about the entire time. And sadly, it wasn't their win, but Akaza still does die, yes, because of self-deletion, in a sense, okay? So they claim that victory for the Slayers, nonetheless. Now, Shinobu faces off, this is the next point, Shinobu faces off with Upper Moon rank 2 on her own and loses less than 10 minutes into the fight. After meeting him, and she dies in the most pathetic way possible. She still displays her hatred for demons, but the Upper Moon rank 2 just absorbs, literally, he doesn't eat her, he absorbs her body and leaves her protege to fight a Upper Moon alone. Because of personal vendetta and also joining up with the rest of the demons, instead of joining up with the rest of the demon slayers, Shinobu in her last moments alive went against her better judgment. And that's sad because Shinobu didn't seem like the type of character where she would just lash out or do things not out of instinct but out of emotion, or just spontaneously do something and it's the wrong thing to do. She was always the calm type of character. She was always the intellectual character. And she was always a step ahead of the enemy and even the other Hashiras, okay? But not this time, not in this film. They changed the character completely because they pulled in an emotional little story about her sister who passed away. And she failed as a mentor and as a Hashira because of what the writers have done. Because they made her so emotional in the scene. Because now she's confronting the demon that has killed her sister. She lost her... She lost the qualities of Hashira. And instead of joining up in numbers to take on especially the upper rank 2 demon, she faced it alone. And now her protege is also there with Doma and witnessed her death, and now has to face Doma on her own, and she is not even a Hashira as well. That's the thing. It's bad. As the insect Hashira, Shinobu they should have done it better. It would have been cool to see more of Shinobu's battle abilities. But they just gave us less than 10 minutes and boom, now Shinobu's gone. Moving on to the next point. Out of all the time put into the battle with Akaza, even meeting Akaza for the first time where he killed Kyojiro, Akaza became a big baddie since he was introduced in the first film. Even more so than Muzan, to be honest, okay? But to see Akaza's backstory and to feel sad for him from what he lost as a human before he became a demon. What were the writers thinking after so many seasons displaying Akaza as powerful upper moon demon who would be hard to kill, and then now we need to feel sorry for him? The same guy who's been killing people, the same guy who killed somebody that our hero Tanjiro enjoyed to be with, okay, looked up as a mentor, okay, Akaza killed this dude. Akaza is also so firm and strong amongst the demon slayers. Not demon slayers, amongst the upper moons. Like, why would you want us to feel sorry for the dude? He's killed people for for centuries. The dude has been killing people. He's a demon. He's been killing people and eating them to get stronger. Why would you want us to feel sorry for him? You ruined it, basically. With his backstory, we didn't need to see that. Could have given us a glimpse. A slight glimpse. Not in an entire 10 minutes of his backstory in this entire fight. Which is 10 minutes at a time, by the way. Holy crap. You ruined it by making us feel sorry for Akaza. And then you had him commit suicide. That was lame. The next point, it's all about Akaza, by the way. Akaza, the big baddie Upper Moon 3, dies by his own hands. Not even Gyu or Tanjiro landed the final blow. Even though Tanjiro cut his head off, Akaza grew it back. He still didn't die by a blade. What would be the final blow? What would be the final blow if it's not a blade? But no, Akaza suicides himself because he just had to relive the past life again. He literally actually says, why am I seeing this? Which is the question I was asking myself. Why am I seeing this? Why am I seeing Akaza's past? When you look at his past, he looks, obviously he's human. You actually do feel sorry for him because of the stuff that he's going through and what was taken away from him, even though he literally had everything handed to him and he was an undisciplined kid. But to see it get taken away, I wouldn't say that's enough to turn him into a demon. But you made us feel sorry for him, which means I didn't really want to see him die. And he committed suicide. Which then takes away, like I said, he takes away the win from Tanjiro and the rest of the Slayers. It was lame. Man, coming to the end of this rant now, and I do apologize for everybody, but thank you for being here for the last who knows how many minutes. I mean, from what I can see, 30 minutes. Thank you so much. I would say no, okay? I plead with the creators of the Demon Slayer franchise. Please do not create another Infinity Castle film. Please, just give us the season, because you ruined this. And also, a film is actually a bad idea. We can't sit through all those sad things and then have to, for 2.5 hours, sitting through a sad movie. We can't do that. Give us a season, please. But that is my rant. That's my rant review for the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle arc film. But apart from that, thank you guys. Do not forget to leave a like and subscribe. And you know what? Leave any comments. If you guys love the film, hate the film, let me know.